Hello everybody, my name is Melanie Puckett and welcome to History Today. Today's very special guest is Marie Antoinette, who sparked the French Revolution. Please welcome her to the stage. Hello Melanie, thank you for having me on the show today. Oh, it's a pleasure. Do you mind if we ask you a few questions? Of course. Lovely. So Maria, when and where were you born? I was born in Vienna, Austria in 1755. Oh, lovely. So, unfortunately, we all know that you had quite a short childhood, with your teenage years ending at the age of 15. You were forced to grow up quickly and you were thrown into the public's eye with them watching your every move. This is because you were married at the mere age of 15. Who did you marry which forced all this attention on you? Yes, I married the future King of France, King Louis XVI. It was a little bit daunting because I was so young and I was thrown into situations where I felt uncomfortable. Marrying King Louis XVI came with a lot of responsibilities. It was all a little frightening and overwhelming because I was still a teenager, but I married the love of my life. A lot of people more than likely did not know that you felt like this when you were getting married. When your wedding came around, was it supposedly very lavish? What was so interesting about your wedding? Yes, we were married on the 16th of May 1770. We were married in the Royal Chapel at Versailles. We had more than 5,000 guests who attended the wedding, so it was very large and chaotic, but also one of the best days of my life. Oh, that sounds amazing! As most people are aware, when people became convinced that the monarchy and the nobility were conspiring against them, you were the one that was often targeted for people to let out their rage. How did you deal with this? In early June of 1791, my husband King Louis XVI and I left Paris. We headed for the Austrian border to protect ourselves, because all the protesters in France was getting out of hand, so the best thing we could do was escape to protect ourselves. However, many people saw this as if I was being a traitor to the country. They all thought that because I was a foreign-born queen that I had brought bad luck to the country. That's so unfortunate that they took their anger out on you, forcing you to leave the country to protect yourself. After you and the royal family returned to Paris, how did the rest of the country take it? Did they fight? Yes, actually after Louis XVI was throned again, revolutionaries argued that the enemies were the monarchs themselves. This led to a whole breakout of people fighting back, and in April 1792, the government declared war on Austria. This evidently didn't go well, and people began to blame it on me because I was a foreign-born queen. It was quite a scary time for me and my husband. Oh, how horrible! As the people of France grew angry, a lot of people were doing things to harm, hurt you, or ruin your reputation, or just make your life miserable. You lost a lot of important things to you. Would you mind telling us what you lost and how it made you feel? Yes, unfortunately, everybody was letting their anger out on me and was trying to make my life miserable. In July 1793, I lost custody of my son. He was forced to say that I sexually abused him and partook in incest. This was one of the hardest things for me because the son I loved and cared about so much was being put into horrible situations, and I can only imagine the pain that it caused him, being forced to lie about his own mother. Oh, that's horrible! The poor little boy would have to grow up without his loving mother. Why do you think that the French blamed everything that had happened on you? How did it make you feel? I believe that they were honestly just looking for someone to blame for all the corruption. So they turned on me and decided to blame me for all the bad things that were happening in France, and took all their anger out on me by trying to hurt me and ruin my life. This caused me to try and avoid all public places because there was a danger in me going out by myself. Oh, having to avoid people must have been difficult. How long did the French Revolution war last? What was the outcome? The French Revolution lasted roughly 10 years. Unfortunately, around 40,000 people died from either being murdered or executed. The most efficient and common way of execution was to use the guillotine to cut off people's heads. However, after the French Revolution, people started to be able to have their input in the way that the country was being run. Wow, that is a lot of people who died in awful ways, isn't it? Eventually, after the campaign against you about abusing your son grew stronger, a decision was made. What was the decision in the end? Unfortunately, I was convicted of treason by the court and was subsequently sent to the guillotine and was killed this way, just like thousands of others who died for reasons that were certainly not worth the death penalty. That is horrible, isn't it? All the people that died when it was unnecessary? Do you believe that after you died, you left a legacy of sorts? Along with a lot of other powerful and symbolic leaders from the time of the French Revolution, definitely left an imprint and legacy after we died. We represented almost everything that was wrong with the monarchy of the time. That is lovely that people can look to you and many others as a representation of the times of the French Revolution. Well, unfortunately, that's all we have time for today, Maria. Thank you so much for being on the show with us today. Oh, it is my pleasure, Melanie. I'll be glad to come back on the show anytime. Farewell! Oh, thank you so much, Maria, and thank you everyone for tuning in today. Come back tomorrow to witness King Louis XVI talk about what he thinks about the French Revolution. Thank you and good night.